Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming holds a quiet danger beneath its beauty. Hikers say the air feels thin here, even in midsummer, as if the mountains are always listening. In August 2018, Neil Porter, a photographer from Portland, vanished while exploring the trails around Jenny Lake. He was not a novice. Friends described him as meticulous, quiet, and slightly obsessive about light conditions. He knew how to listen to the wild. But the night before he disappeared, Neil sent a text to a friend. It wasn't a casual greeting. It was a warning. "Got the light I wanted. Feels strange here, though. The forest is too still. Even the insects stopped." That silence swallowed him. After a massive 12-day search, the only trace found was his tripod, snapped in half on a high ridge. Forensic analysis revealed the metal wasn't broken by a fall. It was bent by compression. Something heavy had crushed it. The forest went silent. The insects stopped, and the tripod was crushed. What did Neil Porter see through his lens before the darkness took him? This is the story of a disappearance that never settled into an answer, and of the clues that refused to make sense. When Neil missed his check-in, his roommate called, then his sister. By dawn, rangers had the alert. Grand Teton rangers assembled a plan: shoreline sweeps, ridge teams, and a helo to trace the drainages. Weather, marginal. Ceiling, low. Visibility, shifting. Classic mountain rules applied: move slow, trust your map. Dozens joined: climbers, locals, visiting hikers. A community pulls taut in moments like these. Last known position: a parking lot ping at 5:42 p.m. Potential routes: 3. He traveled light for evening shoots. Body, 2 primes, tripod, and a small drone. Risks were familiar: falls, hypothermia, wildlife, and the thing no plan can fully map: time. At 0700, the line moved into timber. The first day is for the obvious places. Air crews scanned shorelines and ledges. Thermal optics probed shadow and stone. Nothing. Day 2 and 3 drew grids on the living world. Flagging, GPS tracks, interval calls. "Hey-o!" The call rides the wind. Another echo answers, thinner each ridge. Tracks appeared and vanished. Moisture, sun, needles falling like ash. Shore teams worked the sinks and snags, feeling blind under gray water. Heat signatures flickered. Marmots, a lone deer bed. Nothing human. And then that stillness, like the park held its breath. Radio checks grew shorter. Voices dropped. Old hands notice it. The way a valley falls asleep in daytime. It unsettles you. A clue. A carbon splinter at shoulder height on a lodgepole pine. Not a break. A scrape. Something carried and thrust, or something pressed hard against it. The mountain answered with weather. Day 4, a spotter on a ridge glimpsed a glint. Metal tucked in a crack. Neil's tripod, serial matched. One leg compressed, fibers crazed like a wound. Forensics later confirmed. Not a shear from a fall, a squeeze. If he'd fallen here, you expect scatter, lens cap, strap, something. There was nothing. The grit suggested it moved after the crush, as if carried or dragged, then shoved into the crack. No prints, no scuff on the approach, only the mountain's own scars. Teams lingered, listening for what the rock would not say. A tripod is a stand-in for a photographer. It holds their intent, their angle on the world. Whatever bent it, interrupted that intent. The ridge offered no more. His phone, recovered from his vehicle, was locked. A warrant and a manufacturer assist opened it. Inside were drafts, not sent. Typed around sunset the night before. The first, a line about the air. Crowded. It's a word that shouldn't fit a forest. The second, a tone, too steady to be wind. A hum you feel more than hear. The third, a red blink crossing Jenny Lake. Too slow for a drone, he wrote. In notes, a partial coordinate. Incomplete. A thought interrupted. The battery log showed a plunge at 9:03 p.m. Like the phone fought a heavy task, or a heavy cold. No mud, no blood, only prints. His. The drafts told a story without an ending. And the red blink waited in the viewer's mind. Day 7, a volunteer found a drone battery 20 yards off trail near a dry creek. Same brand as Neil's, but the wear was wrong, like it had spent nights in wet air, days in cold sun. The spot didn't line up with a clean path from the ridge. It was sideways. Could he have flown it? Maybe, but logs were gone. The craft was never found. Sap suggested it sat wedged in bark before falling free. A perch, then a drop. Downstream, searchers walked the bends, imagining what water does with secrets. Above, ravens worked thermals no human could ride. The board grew crowded with maybes. The battery went into the strange column. In cases like these, strange stacks on strange until it feels almost routine. The red blink returned in dreams. The simplest theory: he missed the loop, chased light, and slipped after dark. Talus moves like water when it wants, and a wrong step takes you where no one can see. Rain arrived in bands that week. Wet rock erases good decisions. Another theory: wildlife. A startle, a run, a fall. But signs didn't point that way. Hypothermia makes poets into statues. It steals the sequence from your hands. Water hides more than it gives, but sonar and poles found no shape that fit. Each known possibility faced a quiet contradiction. And always the tripod, squeezed like it angered something. The mountain, for its part, was patient. Knights told the teams to try again. Some spoke of magnetics, of rock that hums, of compasses arguing with stone. Others whispered of lights, marsh gas, satellites, or something that edits the night. The red light in his draft gnawed at rational minds. And that low tone. Infrasound can unsettle animals, and us. It can make fear from nothing. Stories older than maps say the peaks listen back. Missing 411 cases gather these details. Weather flips, sound cuts, objects placed where they shouldn't be. Neil's case fit too neatly into a shape no one claims to understand. Parallel marks near the ridge matched nothing in the field guide. The hum returned at daybreak, thinner, like a remembered song. And the sky offered its usual denials. Timeline: 5:42 p.m. Car ping. 6:30. Trail seen by a couple. Camera strapped tight. 7:50. Drafts begin. He favors edges, places where water meets rock, where paths play at being cliffs. The most probable fork took him toward the ridge where the tripod was found. 9:03 p.m. The phone dives. 9:10. Drafts stop. After that, only weather speaks. Somewhere between those minutes, the forest fell quiet enough to hear your own blood. The red blink may have been a buoy, a plane far off, or a trick of mist. It also could have been nothing. If wind took him, it would take the tripod differently. If he fell, it would break differently. If he launched the drone, why was the battery far from any good launch? His last known act was intent. The camera tells us that much. After midnight, the park closed in. The search stretched 12 days. It ended with promises to return when the snow went. Pieces remain. They always do. Objects are louder than memory. The park breathes different at first light, as if something exhaled in the dark. Through a lens, the unknown is beautiful until it isn't. Teams left in ones and twos, carrying a weight they could not name. An empty space holds shape long after a vehicle goes. Maps suggest endings. Mountains do not. In the catalog of the missing, some names never find their page. Neil Porter went looking for light and stepped into a darker grammar, the kind written by weather and stone. And if the mountains are listening, maybe they remember.